Hey everyone, if you're enjoying Will There Be Cake, don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Seven Land Podcasts.
Welcome to another episode of Will There Be Cake. I'm your host, Amber Simpson, and with me, as always, Robert Lamb.
What are you drinking over there?
None of your business.
Okay.
Joining us today, Ian Feller. Again.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome back.
Thank you. It's nice to be back, especially when I have beer.
Beer in your hand.
Beer.
Oh, so that's what he's drinking.
Beer,
and that's what you're drinking.
Yeah, you can see me clearly right in front of your face.
No, I go by sound just like our listeners.
That's smart.
Thank you. I'm like
Robert
a whale.
goes blind every episode we record.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He goes blonde.
Blind.
Blind.
And blonde. I do dye my hair every time we record, which is every day. And I close my eyes and I try to become a whale. And I just do sound.
Oh, yeah. Today is International Beer Day.
That's why we're
Cheers.
drinking beer.
Cheers.
Everybody
Wait,
out
hold
there.
on.
Cheers.
Clink.
Cheers.
Wait.
Cheers.
Mine's not
Cheers.
going to clink. It's a can.
Hey,
Ooh.
cheers.
What are you guys drinking?
I'm
Beer.
drinking a beer.
Oh, good.
Here.
I got a Samuel Adams Cold Snap White Ale.
I'm drinking a George Killian's Irish Red.
Ooh, I'm drinking a Blue Moon Belgian
Nice.
White
In a can.
in a can.
That's why we couldn't clink
with
with
no
you.
oranges because Robert sucks.
I actually did have oranges. I had one
Shit.
orange left because I didn't eat it and I forgot, and then it got really old, so I threw it away.
And he got scurvy.
And I got
So
scurvy.
yeah, Robert's
I
fridge
thought you get
is
scurvy if you don't. Well, after, because I didn't
You didn't
consume the
it.
orange.
Yeah,
I
it's
got
scurvy.
scurvy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Robert's fridge has a bunch of random beers.
I always buy like a bunch of variety
It
packs.
does, and then people
random
bring
stuff.
some and leave them, and
No. I always do that because I do a lot of podcasting, and
Yeah.
people come over to either be part of this now
Oh, yeah.
or be a voice on a podcast. So
And as a guest, I know you have to be drunk.
You have to be drunk to
deal with
record.
these two guys. So
Especially-
that's
yep,
true.
Yep.
Yeah.
Especially if you're new at it, people get nervous.
if you're a
It's a
noob,
little better.
noobs.
noobs.
And then you also have some from all the trivia we used to go to and won
yeah,
Yeah.
some beers.
Won a lot
Free
of beer.
We got
Yeah.
free beer.
I still have that big one.
Yeah, me too.
I know, I
never
have-
drank
Yeah, I
that
never
one.
drank it.
I
Yeah.
almost broke it open
I also
right
have
now.
the.
but-
I think I have the ciders too. It's like a couple of ciders.
I had a couple of those. I think people drank them
Probably
when they
me.
came over.
Oh, that's good.
I think Regina drank one too.
Oh.
And she was over.
So, yeah. Beer is one of the oldest drinks in the world.
Wait, so this is International Beer Day.
Yeah.
So international, all over the world,
All
drink
over the
beer,
world.
or you have to drink something that's not a national beer.
No, all over the world.
Just drink any beer. Just have beer.
Straight
yeah.
beer.
Okay.
All over the world.
All
is
over the world
celebrating.
celebrate
Everybody
a beer
drinking
with
beer
a beer.
today.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Definitely.
right. So what were you saying before I cut
Almost every culture throughout human history has consumed beer.
you off? Every culture,
Yeah.
even the caveman culture.
Yep.
Cool.
Well, actually, yeah.
Probably.
Some of
I
the
mean,
oldest
they-
evidence was like ancient Babylonia and Mesopotamia. Archaeologists found recipes written on clay tablets in 4300 BC and ceramic vessels from 3400 BC.
Then how come they
Wow.
never had like beer bellies in their pictures and shit?
They worked hard.
That's true. They were always
They
out
were
there
always
in the
working.
field. Yeah, like growing.
Plus, it was
When
also
you're-
made-
When you're walking around the world, you
That's
burn a
true.
lot of calories.
Yeah.
I
True.
know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He knows. He
I know.
walked
Yeah.
everywhere
Yeah,
across the world.
just one country.
But it was also made different. Christian monks brewed beers in the Middle Ages, and they were the ones to introduce the use of hops.
Oh,
Before it was just brewed with like dates and olive oils for flavor, which sounds gross.
interesting.
Dates, yeah, dates and olive oils. Weird. Thank God wheat came around.
Yeah,
Wheat, barley, hops.
Yeah, all that stuff.
but beer was another thing that was accidentally discovered because
Of course.
some grains. I don't know who.
Fell into a petri
some
dish.
grains were discovered to have fermented.
Fermented.
Yep, producing a bubbly, aromatic product that someone drank and felt a buzz, and they were like, "Wow,
Oh,
I'm gonna
I'm
keep
gonna
doing
try
this.
this, yeah.
I didn't die."
let's cheers to that guy.
Cheers!
Cheers, everybody. Cheers to that guy.
Clink, clink,
Clink.
clink.
Man, good sound
So
effects.
when did this day start?
Some guy named Jesse. Can you guess? I can't pronounce his last name. Avshalomov.
Oh,
Jesse Ashalom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in
Shalom,
August
shalom.
of 2007,
2007?
in Santa Cruz, California, founded this day. He's just drinking some beer with his buds, and he was like, yo, it's a good day to gather with friends and enjoy some beer, or to celebrate brewers and servers,
Oh,
or
you're
to
supposed
celebrate beers of all nations.
all
Oh,
nations.
that's pretty new then.
Yeah.
Well,
All
cheers to that guy.
Yeah.
Cheers to that guy.
To Jesse, blah, blah, blah.
Clink.
Shamalam.
Shamalam.
Ashamamalov.
M. Night Shyamalan.
Cheers
Clink.
to him,
Cheers
too.
to those guys. Cheers.
Man.
Beer.
So
Beer.
what kind of beer do we like? What's your favorite beer? Anybody?
I like ciders. Or sours. I don't know if those are considered.
Yeah, those beers,
Yeah,
right?
those beer.
Yeah.
Sour
So-
beer.
It's just sour. I don't like sours.
Sours are
Sour
my new favorite, but it also depends. Not all sours.
Like I like sours the first like half of the glass. I'm like, this is all right. I'm not fine. I'm fine with it. But then like after a while, I'm like, all right, I'm getting tired of
Yeah,
this.
I
I can't do it.
I take one sip and I don't like it.
Yeah, I'm just not a
Pretty
huge
sour.
fan of
I don't
them.
really like sour.
I like sours.
I like
I like
sour
dark-
things, but I
dark
just
I
beer.
like sours.
Yeah.
I like ciders if they're not too sweet. But I kind of like everything. I drink pretty much anything, even IPAs every once in a while if
Yeah.
I want to get more drunk on the drunk side.
see. I used to drink IPAs more, and now I drink like darker beers. I like stouts now a lot, especially
too.
like some of the
That's my-
breweries
that's my
around
go-to.
here, like the milk
Some
stout
good
at
stouts.
Paw,
yeah.
Nitro
Peanut butter
Stout.
stouts.
peanut
yeah.
butter stout,
Oh,
yeah.
delicious.
Those are really good.
Yeah, give me-
They're filling though, so like if I'm like eating something, I don't normally get a stout. Like
Yeah.
if I'm eating
Right.
food, but if it's just
They're
like
good
going
at
out to
dessert
drink,
beer for me.
Yeah.
And the ones that I usually drink at the place that I usually go, they're usually like a dessert flavor to
Yeah, a
the
lot of
stouts,
them, yeah.
and they're
They
high,
have, like,
super high
peanut butter,
percentage.
Chocolate,
jelly
yeah.
ones, or chocolate ones, coffee.
Yeah.
oh yeah, though
The coffee
you have
ones.
enough of those.
But
you're
you know
good.
the basic Guinness stout
Mm.
is not as heavy as people think. Like it's only like, maybe 100 calories per beer.
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, it's not
That's
a
not
lot
bad.
of not as many carbs as everybody thinks. Like it's really not that heavy. They're only
Yeah.
maybe 4.5% alcohol, which isn't
That's
heavier
not-
than
that's
a
not-
normal
yeah,
beer.
No,
Just looks heavy because
Right.
it's so dark, but they're really not heavy.
no, I like red ales too.
It's diet beer. Like that's
I
what I'm
like that
drinking.
one.
So,
Yeah, I like those.
I haven't had one of these in years, but they're so good. This might be one of the first
Really,
non like Budweiser type beers I ever drank. Was this Killian?
Killian, nice.
Nice.
I don't drink beer as much now over the past like few months. I've been kind of sticking to like just straight liquor. It's just easier, and I feel like I'm not as full, and it gets me buzzed like a lot
Yeah.
quicker.
You
Obviously,
gain more weight with beer.
That's what I'm saying. Is I'm trying
I've
not
been
to
drinking a lot of
Yeah.
beer because I go to like a craft a beer bar
Right.
on a regular basis. Not, but yeah, and I gained a lot of weight.
Yeah, that was one of the things I was drinking a lot. And I was gaining weight. I was like, yeah, all right, I'll cut back a little bit. And
Yeah,
at least- I don't know.
But I
It's
can drink
beer.
more of it than liquor
Really?
without getting drunk.
Well, yeah, I
Depending,
mean,
but
definitely, yeah. Like it takes me a few
And a
beers
good-
before I start feeling.
And a good beer goes with food.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know, like a hamburger or
Yeah.
French fries or something. You can have beer with it.
Tacos.
Tacos. Like you need a beer with it.
Tacos.
No, I know. I'm talking about if I'm just gonna go out drinking or something, I'll just get like a.
Right. Yeah,
I didn't
well,
like
whiskey.
beer for a really long time.
Same
I
here.
mean, I grew up drinking, and like grow up drinking, but I grew up drinking Coronas because my mom drank Coronas. So that was the first beer I had, and it was still one of the first beers that I enjoyed. But it wasn't for the last like 5 years of my life that I really started drinking beer.
beer.
The first couple beers I drank were like Bud Light and all those like Miller Light, and now I
Miller
can't
High
drink.
Life.
What was the first beer you ever drank?
I think it was Bud Light.
Bud Light.
Yeah.
My first beer I ever drank
Mine
was
is
St.
Corona.
Pauli Girl.
St.
Oh,
Pauli.
really?
Oh, it was
Nice.
so gross. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know, 16 or 17. My buddy's brother, like my buddy stole beer from his brother, and it was St. Pauli Girl, and it was so disgusting. I'll never forget how bad it tasted.
I just remember my
we drank
dad.
them and we got drunk.
My dad like gave me a beer one, like not gave me the whole beer. He's just like, "You really want to taste it? Taste it." And I was like, "Oh, this is gross." I'm
Yeah.
I'm
That's
not
why they
doing
let
it.
you taste
Yeah.
it.
Definitely
I know, it's
acquired
terrible.
taste.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's definitely acquired. You got to drink a few of them before you.
Yeah. I don't even think in college I really enjoyed drinking beer.
I didn't really start drinking until after all that.
Yeah.
Like even when I was like 21, like I wasn't like. I mean, I went to parties and like drank stuff, but a lot of times it would just be like actual liquor drinks or doing shots.
Yeah,
It
well,
wasn't like beer.
right.
So like I didn't really start drinking one heavily until like after all that, but then also like beer I didn't really start drinking until like maybe I was like 24
Oh,
or
wow.
25. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I really started drinking and enjoying beer until like, I won't say they were craft beers, but I remember there was a time like in my, I don't know, late teens, early 20s where bars started having a selection of beer from around the world, and it was
Right.
more
Right.
than just like Budweiser or Coors.
Breweries
Like you
definitely
could get
helped.
darker beers, and this was way
Yeah,
before that.
breweries.
But I
Oh,
was
right.
like, you could start getting like a dark beer. It was like the first time I ever discovered like a Guinness,
Right.
you know, and it was like after that, then I was hooked.
Well, I think that's for me was like when I was like 24, 25, we started going to breweries. More breweries started opening up downtown and stuff, and we started going to those. And that beer was a lot better than Bud Light. I remember, now I can't even drink Miller Lite or
Yeah,
Bud
no,
Light
me
or any
neither.
of those. Like,
So gross.
So
I
it's
think
kinda-
I think
oh.
of the beers like we drank in college, where you could get a 6-pack for like $4,
right.
because it was cheap, so you just drank
Yeah, yeah,
whatever
yeah.
you could get, and it
Yep.
was so terrible.
Yep.
I went to a bachelor party and we got like a keg, and it was just, I think it was Miller Lite, and I was like, oh, this is horrible. Like this was after I was doing all the stouts and
Yeah.
stuff like that. I was like,
Yep.
oh,
Get
I hate
spoiled.
this. But
The
we
only
had to
ti-
like get drunk and
Yeah, the only time I drink shitty beer is when it's like the cheap beer day at the Rays games.
oh yeah.
There you
sure.
go. There you go.
I still, even when I'm at the Rays games, I try to get like a
The
shock
craft
top or
ones, yeah.
something.
Right. Yeah.
At least like a shock top.
Yep.
Yeah.
Something, and make sure they put the orange in there.
I will say shock top. I don't remember when I first had one, but that was like early on, like when I first started really getting into beer, and shock top was the first one that I like genuinely liked.
Yeah.
Like I liked it. I didn't have to acquire the taste for it. I just liked it when I
Yeah.
first had it. Whereas like all the other beers, I had to like have a couple times. And
I used to go to a bar that had shock top on draft, and they would have like a once a week special where they had like hospitality night, and it was cheap.
right.
So I was like, I never had it. So I would drink it all the time and put the orange in there, and I was like, damn, this is good. Now I drink it like regularly. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever would have tried it other than being cheap.
Now,
Yep.
do you think beer tastes better, obviously on tap compared to like bottle and can, or do you notice?
I don't. That's,
Not necessarily. I don't.
some beers do.
I don't really
Yeah.
like. There's a lot of beers I don't really like out of a can. Like bottle,
Yeah.
I'm fine with, but draft is like to me is the best.
Yeah, I'm-
depending on what the beer is.
Yeah.
Cans, I'm not crazy about drinking out of a
No.
can, but like certain beers, like a Corona, isn't the same. I don't think on draft as it is in the bottle.
No, it's not
Yeah.
the same
But-
in a can either. It's
but-
gross.
No,
in a
it's
can.
gross in a can. But,
Yeah.
but Guinness is much better on draft than it is out of the bottle or out of the can. I think.
Right. Yeah.
I even
agree.
think for me like shock top. Like I like shock top. I mean, I have bottles of it and stuff, but
Yeah.
even like after a while, it doesn't taste as good as like when I get
On
it on
draft?
draft. Yeah,
Yeah, I like it on draft.
because beer actually does get old.
right.
Like it doesn't like technically
Plus-
go bad, but it gets old and doesn't taste as good.
Plus,
Well,
they
it can
put
go
up,
bad. I've had some skunky beers that have sat around too long.
Oh, yeah.
and
but
nasty.
they also put an orange peel in the one on the draft.
yes,
That's true.
yeah, they don't do that at Robert's house.
They don't know, not anymore.
not
Out of
Robert's
oranges,
house. Yeah.
scurvy time.
Scurvy time.
Every time.
My gums are killing me.
Yeah, we got a lot of good breweries around us. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
there's a
the best
lot.
part about nowadays is like you can go
They're
anywhere. There's like a
everywhere.
new beer, and they all make like a million different types of
Yeah.
beer. And
it's
Yeah,
a big thing right now.
great.
yeah, they're
So
opening
many
up
downtown.
all over.
yeah,
So
all
I got
over.
so I got some stats. In 2013, there were 2,416 breweries in America. In
Wow.
2018, there was 7,450.
5,000 more.
Who
Almost?
knows how
Yeah.
many more there are now?
Wow.
At this rate, everybody
There's
will have
probably
a
like
brewery.
10,000
I mean, just judging by
minimum.
by
Yeah.
downtown St.
Yeah.
Pete, there's like a new one opening.
There's like
every
20
week.
of them. Yeah, it's crazy.
They all
Yes.
open in like the weirdest.
It's
little
funny though,
shop
like us
shacks.
three, we go to a lot of the breweries or bars anyways because we do trivia
Yeah,
every
we do
week,
trivia.
And
which
we
is
like,
actually helps us. I mean, that's like our thing now is we go every week
We
to
have-
one of the breweries.
and we
and
like
stuff.
beer. So
Yeah.
We have a big Green Bench is not Green Bench. What's the one that does Highlight?
Does Highlight?
Yeah, the beer
Oh,
Highlight.
I was saying,
Gets
I was
high.
like, well, I don't know. Highlight's only really in Miami, so
But Highlight, I went to that company. They're everywhere. We went to New York and they had it
Oh,
on
Highlight.
draft.
Highlight's big
Nation.
now. Yeah,
nationwide,
Yeah.
yeah.
it's like that's like the go-to IPA for most.
Cigar City.
Places.
There we
Cigar
go.
City Brewery.
But they got
yeah.
a bunch of bunch of different Cigar City flavors all over.
Yeah. Oh, and they're all national. I
Yeah.
drank, Maduro when I was in New York last time.
Yeah.
and
It's kind of
Good.
Yeah,
cool.
a lot of them are
growing.
spreading. Even like Three Daughters, I see their beer now, like Publix and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
and
they're not good.
I'm not that
Not crazy,
crazy
about it.
about it.
No, they're not
I love the place.
Yeah, the place,
place
great.
is cool.
The brewery is really cool.
Yeah,
The beer,
the beer is okay.
it's okay.
That's all
Not-
right.
It's not my favorite. I won't say anything bad. It's still beer.
Yeah, it's fine.
What's the one that I do like? I can't remember which place it was.
Pinellas Ale Works.
It also works is good.
Paul's good.
I like Paul.
I don't love
Okay.
all their beers, but
No, I get their red ale sometimes, which is fine, and then the stout, the milk stout's the best.
The milk bone stout is
Yeah,
delicious. Yeah,
yeah, that
and when
one's
they
good.
flavor them, the couple of ones that they have, like the peanut butter one, or
They had a
they have, like,
Neapolitan
strawberry
one that was
Yeah,
okay.
the
Yeah,
Neapolitan one was good. They have some good
Rap
ones.
Brewing, they're really good too.
I don't think I
That's
ever
true.
We
tried that
did
one.
we did one there.
yeah, we did Rap Brewing.
I don't think I ever went.
Oh, maybe you
That was
didn't
like a
go. Yeah, I think
Thursday
you were
night one,
working.
yes.
Yeah,
Their Goza, which is a sour, is my favorite.
yeah. We went to the Arcane Ale Works, and they do like mostly sours. And
Yeah, which was the place that we went to that had the mint beer that was like
Mint.
really gross.
yeah, I don't remember.
It was
that.
like all green. Well,
No, yeah, no.
it's the place across from Paw. What's that place?
Oh no, you're talking about.
Are you talking about the one
If
that
I Brewed the World,
If I Brewed the World,
right?
the one I dragged you to? The
No,
tiny
no, no.
one? The tiny
No,
hot one?
No, it's right across from Paw on the corner, on the other corner.
Oh,
We walked in there one time.
the one
a
that you
little
just
bit.
walk across
Yeah.
the corner. I
don't
forget
know.
what it's
I
called
haven't
because we
been
always
there.
just go.
Oh,
into,
Cage.
Cage.
You talking about
Yeah,
Cage
that's it,
with
that's
the
it.
octopus mural?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
And they
Cage.
had like a mint beer one day, and the guy let me have one. Like he literally just gave me one, and I could understand why
weird.
it was not very.
They were
Yeah,
trying.
it's
Yeah, they were
too-
trying to
it's a
get rid
little
of
too
it or
minty.
something, right?
They
Yeah,
were,
I was
yeah.
like,
I've
no.
been to events there, but I don't purposely go
They
there
had
to
some
drink.
good. Yeah, some of the other beers there were good.
I think like every place has like at least a couple that are decent, but they do try like different kinds, and I do like that they try like different flavors and everything to
Yeah.
like
Yeah, they try
Appeal
to
to
come
everybody.
up. They try to create something that sets them apart, right? That's what they try to do, and
Yeah.
most of the time it works. A lot of them have something really good.
So I did trivia a couple times at Big Storm Brewery on
Big Storm, that was the one I
Big
was trying to think of. That's the one I like.
Big Storm, and Big Storm has the Nitro Stout, which is really good.
Really good.
Nice.
When I used to do trivia there, one of the guys that was on our team actually worked for Big Storm, and after trivia, he took us in the back and showed us like all the
The brewing
all the stuff that he went through
Oh,
to
wow.
like make the beer and stuff. So he brought
Yeah,
us
it's
up
a
to the
lot.
big like I don't know the technical terms, but the big like barrels and stuff like that they mix everything and
That's cool.
separate everything.
Yeah, I did the
and-
tour at Cigar City. It's
yeah,
pretty cool.
that's kind of what it was. And then he
I'm
showed
jealous.
us.
I want to go do a tour like that.
yeah.
It was
I
cool.
haven't been to Cigar City. I have to go.
It's a really cool place, and
I
they
think
do
I
the
went
tours.
once.
The tours are pretty cheap, and they give you a lot of free beer.
Right?
All right.
I mean, it's local. That's our local brewery. We should
Yeah.
be supporting it,
I
Yeah,
agree.
that's true.
and they have really good beer too.
They do.
It's no
And it's
wonder
better
they're-
there. Like the highlight, I learned when I went on the tour that every batch is different, and you can taste it. Because when I had the highlight there, I was like, "Wow, this is really good." And every other time I've had it, I hate it, but
Really
it's really good there.
Yeah, makes sense.
Fresh,
Fresh out of the
fresh
oven,
and on tap.
right out.
And
of the
made
oven.
Always
there.
good.
Yeah,
because they have breweries like all over the world now, or different states, I think.
that's cool.
But yeah, beer.
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 Drink some beer.
Cheers
That's
to
how
beer.
you celebrate.
Cheers to beer.
Cheers to
Cheers.
beer. Clink.
Cheers.
I love how
I
you.
mime it. I know. I'm no one can see that, Amber Simpson.
Cheers to beer.
Neither can you because you're blind.
That's true. Just
blonde.
listening to everything.
And he's
And
blonde.
I'm blind.
Blonde.
And I got scurvy.
Scurvy.
Yeah, so you just drink a beer today. Now, do you have cake?
Yeah,
Cake with beer? I don't think that goes.
maybe not.
You know what? I think I'm going to go against the cake today.
I'm thinking I'm going to be too drunk to eat the cake.
I'm going to drink a lot of milk stouts or stouts anyway.
What I say you do is there's a lot of cake flavored beers.
Yeah, there you go.
So I say
Oh,
you
that's true.
try a cake flavored
All
beer.
right. Somebody had a birthday cake flavored beer,
Yeah,
didn't they?
that's
Didn't
what I'm saying.
we tried that somewhere.
I've
That might have been
I've had like
Paul.
a strawberry shortcake one before.
Okay, so that's what you got to do. That's how you celebrate.
Yeah,
A strawberry shortcake one would be awesome.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So find a cake beer.
All right, so cake beer. If not, just drink a lot of beer and get drunk.
Beer.
Oh.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All
Or
right.
try a beer from
A local place.
a local place
Support your
or
local
I didn't know
breweries.
where you were
or
going.
like an international beer that you haven't had before.
That's true. Like
Yeah.
a different beer, like
Yeah.
a beer from like
Try beers you haven't had before.
what's your favorite country, Amber Simpson, that you would get a beer from?
I don't know.
Malaysia, maybe.
Sure.
I don't know. Just trying to Saudi Arabia beer,
I'll try
Like
some
that.
Canadian beer.
Japanese beer.
Botswana,
Korean,
maybe
Botswana.
Botswana beer,
Mm-hmm.
I can see it.
Madagascar and
Yeah.
Madagascarian.
beer. Yeah, I'm sure they all got beers.
Beer. There's beer everywhere.
Beer
All right, well,
everywhere. Listen
let's
to Real
go-
Big Fish Beer. It's a
Yeah.
song.
Yeah.
It's a good song. By
Oh, I thought you meant just listen to the band drink beer.
meant that too.
Okay, that sounds fun too. It'll be like you're partying with them.
All right,
All
I
right.
think that does it for International Beer Day.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers to beer.
Clink,
Beer,
clink,
Clink, clack, clink,
clink.
clink, clink,
Clack. Bye.
clink.
This has been a Seven Lamb production.